camera? Where's the camera? Where's the camera?
Oh, wow, that looks good. Let's see if anyone's around. Right now it's just us having some fun, hanging out while Yaya and Daddy are at the store, right? Yeah? Oh, don't be grumpy. Hi. Who is here? Come say hello. We are trying out this new, Reeves and I, because it's just us two, are trying out the new YouTube live straight from your web browser. And so I just decided to see if anyone was around and see what people are up to. So send me a chat. Ayana, hi. Dorothea, hello. Good. I'm doing well. How are you doing? So I figured maybe I will just chat about what is going on. I didn't really have a plan for this live. I just wanted to try out this live stream. And so this is really cool. You can kind of see, so we are not usually in this room. This is our office, which we've sort of half primed, half not primed. So this is keeping it super real. Ashley, I hope you liked. Ashley says she just finished the Singapore vlog. I hope you liked it because, oh my gosh, those things take forever to edit, but they are a lot of fun. I really like making them. So I hope that you liked watching it. So just to kind of talk about a little bit about what's been going on here on our end. So we are so first of all, we've had to deal with something really crazy at Alexis's school this week. Oh yeah, he loves his man bun. Do you like your man bun? Sully Beth Rivera just bought a car and she's waiting for the papers to process. Congratulations. That's so exciting. So crazy thing happened at Alexis's school that I really wanted to share with you guys. Joseph was kind of like, you know, because it's not exactly what our channel is about, but I do like to keep things real and let people know that life isn't always perfect. But so 2 weeks ago, Alexis decided to do a walkout, as you know, protesting school gun violence. And then a couple of days later, the teacher whose class she walked out of pulled her to the side and made a comment to her, asking her if she knew that the first gun laws in the United States were aimed at stopping Black people from being able to vote. And obviously that was extremely inappropriate for many reasons. We'll read this again. Reeves wants to read Where's Baby's Dreidel again, but we'll read it in a minute. And so we had to go to her school. I know. Thank you, Summer. Yeah, we had to go to her school last week to talk to the teacher about it. We were worried that the teacher would try to deny it, but he was really blatantly like belligerent about it, even though the teachers weren't informed not to say anything to any of the students who chose to walk out. So he obviously violated school policy there. Okay. But so what he told us was, because he grew up on poor and on food stamps, he knew, you know, kind of what it was like to be Black in the United States. And so I had to tell him that no, that wasn't correct. And, you know, that really he, not being Black himself, really shouldn't be speaking to Black students about what their identity should mean to them, about what issues they choose to, you know, protest or support. And he actually turned to Joseph and asked Joseph what he thought about that, which was just insane to me, because somehow he expected that Joseph, as a white man, would support his views. Okay, Reeves, read Where is Baby's Dreidel on the Ground. Go on, take it with you. Take it with you. So of course Joseph was like, no, there's no way. Of course Tasha's right. And so that's pretty crazy. So we're dealing with that. And then So the other thing that we are also working with right now is Reed's daycare. So he's in part-time preschool, and also still we have our nanny. She's our full-time employee, because it's crazy, but it's cheaper to do a nanny share with one other person than it is to just get a daycare spot. But now that Reed's is 2, it's cheaper for him to be in daycare. So we're kind of going back and forth about like what we want to do about that. So that's what's going on. Yes. So Lisa says, yes. How does being on food stamps and being poor equal to, how is that equal to knowing what it means to be Black? Yeah, I have no idea, Lisa. I was so, it's like you get so caught off guard with, the things that people say, but afterwards when we're at home and I'm sitting here thinking about it, and I'm like, I was born Black, I still am Black, and I'm going to die Black. And so like, there's gotta be a difference there. And everyone, no matter what I do, will always know that I am Black. And so obviously there's a difference between being Black and being born poor. Just like, there's a difference between being a woman and being a man. And so I don't know what made him think that those two things are equivalent, but yeah, those are just the things that, we still unfortunately have to deal with, that kind of stuff in this day and age, right? In these progressive times, these are still things that we have to deal with. So it's pretty crazy. Yeah, so Summer says daycare is crazy. In Hawaii, it's $1,400 for an infant. Yet here it is at least $1,600, and it can go all the way up to $2,200 for an infant here. So that's pretty crazy. That's why it was actually more financially reasonable for us to go ahead and do a nanny share. So it's Reeves and another baby here at our house. One of our neighbors also has a child. So that's how we are able to afford a nanny. And it ends up being just about the same amount. But let's see. Oh, Keisha, you're in Baltimore traffic. Yeah. Yeah. Are you on 97? 97 can be kind of rough. DC rush hour. Oh, Sensible Living with Money Mom says she would love to babysit. I wish you lived nearby. You live in Texas, right? If I'm not mistaken, maybe I'm wrong. But tell me, how's the sound? How's the video quality? Does this look good to you guys? Because if so, maybe we'll switch to doing lives this way. Texas, yep, that's what I thought. Okay, good. Well, do you guys have any specific questions for me? I wasn't, planning on being on really long, but if you have any questions while I'm here, I'd be happy to answer a couple. Oh, how much is the reduction in daycare costs now that Reeves is 2 years old? So before 2, it was at least $1,600 a month. Now that he is, Reeves, sticking this up his nose. Now that he's 2, it would be $900 a month. So for him to go full time, and then if he had extended day, which would take it to, I think, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., then that would be $1,000 a month, which is $600 cheaper than what we pay now. Because the nanny, we pay $1,600 a month for the nanny, and then we pay another $250 a month for the half-day preschool that he's going to now, because we felt like he needed the extra enrichment. So it is cheaper. Let's see. Do I work full time? Yes, I do work full time. I work from home 2 days a week. And so that is why I'm able to chat with you right now at this time. But actually, I'm usually home at this time. So I go into work for 6:30 in the morning, which is why we did that wake up early video. That's why we wake up that early. We go into work for 6:30 so that we can be back home by 4:15. So yes, I work full time. I am a lawyer. I do consumer finance and banking regulatory work. So, I make sure that banks comply with all of the various consumer finance laws, and I do policy work. So I look into what kind of policy we like that would best benefit people. and how to make sure that the law is protecting people as much as possible, depending on what kinds of new things banks decide that they want to do. Like when new products come out and stuff, I take a look at those things and see what kinds of risks it could pose to like consumers and, you know, their finances that they don't expect, because the point is to try to avoid another, you know, financial crisis like what happened back in 2008. So that's the kind of work that I do. My home is not perfect. Okay, I'm gonna show you our desk right now. And so you guys cannot judge what I'm about to show you. So let me show you what reads. Okay, here's my desk. This is what my desk looks like. You can see. So it's pretty messy, in part because whenever neat homes don't happen by accident, like you definitely have to take the time to put systems in place to organize things. And I have a plan for our office, but everything that's in our office right now is basically stuff that we've had from each one of our moves. And so there is zero storage space in this office, whereas we had built-ins in other places. And so we're just kind of, everything is shoved all over the place. But eventually we would like to build some nice built-ins over there and really get this place organized. Maybe we'll get to it this year, fingers crossed. But our house is definitely not always clean or always neat or any of that. Let's see. Bernice says Reeves is so adorable. Thank you. Let's see. Lisa says my desk looks better than hers. That's good that the so Solange says that the video is perfect, that the sound is perfect, which is good. I'm using, I think we've dropped the link to this before, but it's like a $60 webcam. It is not pricey at all. And I'm also using the sound from the webcam too. So I love it when you can get high quality things for a good budget. And I'm not wearing any makeup. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I usually have on makeup in our YouTube videos. And this is like legit what I normally look like on a day-to-day basis. How did we learn to woodwork? Wait, Summer asks, do I use a planner to plan my finances? So I don't, I use an Excel budget, which is basically the same. It's similar to the one that we have for free, which we're going to be putting back up soon. So just give me some time. I'm dealing with some technical issues when it comes to the website and having downloads available for people. But we just use a single year-long spreadsheet, which actually you can see it in our budget 2018 video. We just use that one budget to track everything. But I will say, when we started YouTube last year, we weren't thinking of it as like a real business or like something that we would make any real money off of. But over the course of the year, that changed, and we recognized that we were actually going to be able to make, you know, some money off of it. And this year, the channel grew really quickly. So we just hit our first $2,000 month. And so now we're figuring, well, we need to actually start really segregating the business and figuring out what we're going to be using for our business finances. So that is actually going to complicate our finances more. So we haven't figured that out yet, but Joseph is working on that because he's more of like the business accounting person. I'm more of like the personal finance person. So when are you okay? What's wrong? Okay, come here, I'll help you. But so we're not doing anything else other than that right now, just using our Excel budget spreadsheet because it really does hold everything. And then also having multiple bank accounts, so everything is kind of labeled within our banks. Let's see, Whimsme, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, asked, how did we learn to woodwork so well? So Joseph actually is, you guys wouldn't, he's like the stereotypical Boy Scout. Like he can fix the car, he can repair anything. So he knows way more about woodworking than I do. than I do. I knew how to do more like DIY painting, that kind of thing. So he has taught me basically everything that I know about how to build anything like wainscoting and built-ins and all of that stuff is all Joseph. So, and we want to do more projects, like DIY projects. As we're doing more projects around the house, we'll be sharing that. Sully Beth asked, how did we come up with Reed's name? It's actually a family name. So he has the names of both of his grandfathers on Joseph's side. So his full name is Reeves Pearson. And so Pearson is Joseph's middle name. And so that's where that came from. Has anyone ever come up to us because they recognize us on YouTube? Yes, there is someone, I'm not going to say her name because I don't know that she would want me to say her name, but she actually takes the same commuter train as us from DC every day. And so we see her almost every day, but she introduced herself to us and said that she knew us from YouTube. And then now that I'm working on the blog a lot, I've joined a couple of Facebook groups. And so people have recognized me in the Facebook groups too. So yes, people have recognized us, which is kind of fun. Let's see, how long was I in the Marine Corps? I was just in for 4 years. When you join, you sign a contract, usually a minimum of 4 years. So I was enlisted, I served my 4 years, active duty, and then I got off of active duty. Then after that, you have 4 years of inactive duty where they can call you back. Luckily, they did not call me back. So I just served 4 years and I was done, which was more than enough for me. Bernice says, I still look good. I'm guessing that's in relation to the fact that I'm not wearing any makeup right now. Thank you. I've always said whenever I talk about my makeup, I actually do not wear makeup on a day-to-day basis. I only wear it for special occasions and for the YouTube channel. One, because it's just a lot of work, like to put on a face every single day. But also, you know, I've just always strongly believed in being comfortable in your own skin and like natural. You know, just that should be your default, and it's fine if you want to enhance it with makeup. But so I feel, you know, just as beautiful natural without makeup. So for the most part, I don't really feel the need to wear it on a day-to-day basis. Let's see, Glue Guns and Roses says she had a hard time decorating their office and making it functional. Yes, that is true. I mean, one of the best things that you can do is maybe go digital. That could help with all of the stuff that goes into the office, but also just having built-ins to hide stuff away. So that kind of puts away a lot of the clutter so that it can just look kind of at least just clean without stuff being everywhere.
Come on.
Oh, do I think we'll come to Hawaii to do a workshop? I think we would love to come to Hawaii. That would be awesome. Who knows what the future would hold. So hopefully one day. Oh, yes. So that's so nice. Thank you. Sensible Living with Money Mom said that she wants everyone to know that she did meet me in person, but technically it wasn't just normal real life. We were at a conference. FinCon is a conference for financial bloggers, and I just decided to go last year, which was actually a great idea. But yes, we did meet, and she says I was even more beautiful and lovely in real life. Thank you. We really are, like, this is who we are. Our friends, our family, they watch our YouTube channel. We're not going to pretend to be something that we're not. So anyone who's wondering, yes, this is really us. The only thing you don't see is probably when we're getting on each other's nerves, because we do get on each other's nerves, but we also have a lot of fun. We're really silly and we play a lot of pranks on each other. So yeah, we are really real. Glue Guns and Roses asked, do I post my blogs on Pinterest? So I have started to use Pinterest this year. Now that we've mastered getting content out on YouTube, we are going to I want to start making more blog posts because I do love to write. So as I get more blog posts, I think eventually we'll get more traffic on the blog. But you know, we're just playing it by ear and just kind of learning as we go. So Griselda says some people look at her like she's crazy when she says she has multiple bank accounts. Yeah, I think some people thought we were crazy too for having as many bank accounts as we have. But I'm in the middle of an audiobook, that's the only way I can really get reading done these days. And I forget exactly what it's called. I have to see. I don't have my phone. But it's a book. It's called Profit First. That's what it is. It's a business book. And I found out about it in some Facebook page. But the idea was that a lot of small businesses aren't profitable. And the reason is because, they're not making sure to segregate their money into buckets to make sure that they are pulling out their profits and keeping their expenses under control. So he actually recommends businesses separate having multiple bank accounts to make sure that their money is earmarked for specific things and they're not stealing from different buckets into other buckets. They're addressing issues. So that's why I think it's good for people to have separate bank accounts, because what we end up doing is we're like, oh, we'll just pull $50 out of savings to cover it. And then next thing you know, when you need that savings, like you're ready to go on your trip, the money's not there. And it happens to so many of us. And so if you're one of those people that are just super disciplined enough to keep all of your budget in one account, he's just going crazy over here with the stickers. And that works for you, that's great. But for us, we really like to give each bucket a name and a job so that we'll think twice before trying to pull anything out of savings and put it someplace else. So Love Water, we have shared our budget template before, but I had to pull it down. Blogging is way more complicated than YouTube. Like figuring out how to do things on a website is very hard. So I had it up for a while, but the thing that I was using to where people can get it, I had to stop using that because it was crashing my website. So I have to find something else that will deliver that to people. So I think I've got it, but I need to set it all up behind the scenes. So just stay tuned for future videos where we will make an announcement that it's back up. You can also go ahead and go over to the website. If you just sign up for the newsletter that's right on the home page, I will email everyone when the budget is available again. So I'm really, really sorry for that, but it will be back up soon. Oh, get ready with me. I'm not wearing any makeup, T.O. I don't know if you missed that, but I'm not wearing any makeup right now. The makeup that I wear for YouTube, it's actually a lot of makeup. If you look at a video and you can tell I'm wearing makeup, I'm wearing a ton of makeup because the lights wash your face out. So it makes it look natural, even though you're wearing a ton of makeup. But I have done a tutorial on my simple everyday makeup. I think it might have been back in November. So if you just look at our, we have playlists that are like a fashion and beauty playlist on our main page. It'll be in there. Is studying in economics going to help you? Dan J asked if studying economics is going to help give him a good understanding in investing and finance. So I would say no. The only economics class that I took that did that was money and banking. And so that teaches you about how our monetary system works. And so that's a useful foundational class to have. But generally, you're going to want to go ahead and take finance classes, take a personal finance class, if there is a class on investing. I don't even know if there's a class specifically on investing, but in money and banking, you'll learn about stocks and bonds and how that works. Okay. Let's see. Ashley asked if I could make a blog post about surviving law school as a mom. Yeah, I guess I'll have to think about doing that. We're making a video about that. But I would say, so I was not single in law school. I was married in law school. And honestly, law school played a huge role in why I ended up getting divorced. It put a lot of stress on my relationship that then came to a head after I graduated from law school. And I think Joseph and I are might make a video about our respective divorces and how to survive divorce. And because there's a stigma around divorce, I think, and sometimes it's honestly the best thing for two people to do or for one person to do. So yeah, but in terms of surviving law school, honestly, just treat it like a job. Law school can be really, really flexible. So while your kids are at school, you just do law school, especially if you can schedule all of your classes, like put all of your classes on 2 days, like Tuesday, Thursday, if you can, and then just study Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's one of the easiest ways to manage it. If not, immediately after class, if you can, do your studying for that class or do your reading for, the next class. And so then when you need to pick your kids up from school at 3 o'clock, then you're just with your kids from 3 until they go to bed like 7 or 8. And then you might study for another 2 or 3 hours before you go to sleep and wake up and do it all again in the morning. So that's basically it. And also get babysitters. If you're a single parent, then, just try to get it in your budget to get babysitters or play date swap with other parents in law school. We did that. I did that a lot. So, but yeah, just treat it like a job and do law school during working hours and you should be fine. Also, use the treatises. Let me see if I have any here. Here's one. Okay, so this one is, this is from the National Consumer Law Center. You probably can't see it. So this one's on student loan law. One for each one of your classes. You could also get legal lines, which is it'll summarize the cases in your case books, and you just read those things. Also read the case books, but read those things first. Focus on reading the case books. It's just working harder and not working smarter. So that's my advice. Tio says she's thinking about starting the vlog with her husband. How did we decide? On the financial advice niche. So I just love personal finance. I'm a personal finance attorney, a consumer finance attorney in particular. And so I know a lot about it. I also think that there's a lot of misinformation out there when it comes to the way consumer credit products work, the way debt works, how consumers can best manage their money. So I really love talking about it, but that is not our sole niche. And so we will be doing more lifestyle things, especially now that the winter is finally going away. So we can get out and start doing some DIY projects and get out of the house and, do some things around like DC. Oh, Daddy's I'm gonna take this. We're gonna take this. So I would say just try out, just start vlogs, see, what sticks. But I will say that when it comes to YouTube, it's just not as easy anymore to just pick up and make a beauty channel or a vlogging channel or a gaming channel and gain subscribers quickly because it's so super saturated. So if you are going to do a vlogging channel, you probably have to think really, really hard about how you are going to separate yourself from the competition to make yourself stand out and get more views. Your best bet is to figure out some way to help people. That's what I attribute our success to on YouTube, that we try our best to provide as much helpful information to our viewers as possible. And so some of it is about us, but most of it is not about us. Even the stuff that's about us, it's sort of like using our lives to illustrate the messages that we try to convey in our other videos, which is that you can balance having a good life, getting your finances straight, and planning for your financial future. And so it's also to kind of counteract this thing where I feel like people say, well, you have to be uber frugal, but when you look at the life that they don't show the life that they're living, or they don't really tell you what everything costs. And so we just wanted to be really transparent with it. So that's how we decided what kinds of videos to make. And, it's a mix of helping people, but also making videos about things that we actually enjoy making videos about, which is why we still do our vlogs, even though we don't get that many views on them. And it's also why, like, for example, we know if we just kept making, say, side hustle videos or how to make money videos or frugal living videos, those videos would grow our channel faster because we get a lot of traction on those videos. But the truth is we don't do a ton of side hustles, and we're not extremely frugal. We're frugal with a purpose. So it's like moderate frugalism. And so, you know, based on principle, like we just won't make those kinds of videos, not to capitalize on traffic. It's got to be authentic.
It's a flower. This is a flower.
So I think I missed what Ashley make a blog post about, surviving law school as a mom. I mentioned that. Blue Guns and Roses says she was a teen mom and a single mom for 7 years. So that's why, yes, also, I know how hard it is because I was a single mom both before and after my divorce, before Joseph. And it was definitely tough. But it's totally, you went through it. I was not, here's the thing, I wasn't a single mom for that long. I was a single mom for 2 years with Alexis. And then a year after my divorce, after my ex-husband moved out, before Joseph and I actually got serious. So, or started dating and got serious. So I do have some tips, but I was always making, like a fairly decent living. Like even in the military, I had, access to the child development centers. So daycare wasn't that expensive. And then otherwise than that, I just devoted all of my time to being home and being a mom. But it's definitely a lot easier with a partner for sure. Let's see. Ooh, how many Singapore vlogs are left? Okay, so 1 to 3. I don't know because I have all of the footage. I just need to go through it because I try to keep those shorter. Our personal finance videos might get up to 12 or 13 minutes long because it's a lot of information. But the Singapore vlogs, I like to keep them between like 5 and 7 minutes if possible. So on our last day, we went to the zoo, we went to the botanical gardens, and then Joseph and Alexis went and saw the Super Grove Trees light show at night, and then went to the top of this super tall Marina Bay Sands, and explored up there. So we did a lot of things on the last day. So depending on how that breaks up, it might be 2 videos, it might be 3. Oh, and someone asked if someone's ever recognized us in real life. So one of the subscribers, of our subscribers, I forget her name, her daughter happened to be in Singapore, and she asked her daughter to keep an eye out for us, and her daughter found us in the airport. So that was someone recognized us in Singapore. That was pretty crazy. But Singapore is almost done, probably 3 or 4 more. So Christina asked, how do we handle negativity on our channel blog? That she released an ebook for her blog and got a very negative email from a subscriber, and it made her not feel motivated anymore. Guys, so it's in the beginning, it was a lot harder. Especially, I don't know, I think for me, what I've come to realize is, like, in part, so some people, constructive criticism is always great. And I always welcome constructive criticism, because to think that we have all the answers and have considered absolutely everything, I think is kind of, like naive. And so I love to hear what other people are saying. I love to consider it. And I love to have this conversation and go, and really discuss the ideas. But the people that are just mean, the people that just like attack us and that are just like really nasty, I just remind myself that a couple of things. One, it's actually not about me. It's about them and them feeling like they need to validate their life and their choices. And so they're using me as like, it's kind of like being in high school, the kids that bully other kids, they don't actually deliberately want to be mean. They just want to feel powerful. And that's how they make themselves feel powerful, by putting other people down. And so you can't let that stop you from living your life and, doing what you feel is best for you. And so you should be proud of yourself that you made that ebook. That took work, and so I'm proud of you for putting yourself out there, and, take whatever grains of, nuggets of wisdom, if there's any at all in that negativity, and use that to make your ebook better, but don't let it stop you from putting yourself out there, because so many people are sitting on the sidelines and they want to force you to sit on the sidelines too. So don't let them have that power over you. Just just find your tribe, your people that are there for you, that love you, that will support you. Because I'm sure that there are lots of people out there, your email subscribers, that love what you're doing. And just remember that you're doing it for them. So that's my advice there. Oh, what was my MOS in the Marines? I was an 0151, so I was admin. Joseph and Alexis have been gone a long time. They were just supposed to go to the grocery store. But Alexis is driving. She's driving our SUV for the first time today. So that was really interesting. Candace says, thank you for our channel and that we've given you a lot of tools to revamp your financial life. That is awesome. Griselda says that we've motivated her and her husband to maximize your savings. Absolutely. I think people don't talk enough about the savings crisis that we have in this country. I'm sorry about like the sun. I'm shifting this way. The sun is coming along like the window right here. So you can see like I'm trying to hide from it. But yeah, there's a real savings crisis in this country, especially for us younger people, because who knows what Social Security is going to look like by the time we're in our 60s. And so it's really, really important that we prioritize savings, which is why we push savings so much, because nothing can make you financially secure like having a wad of cash in your bank account can, not being debt-free. And I know that people are, and it is important to pay off debt. And you certainly don't want to waste money on high interest debt, if at all possible. So don't get me wrong there. But if you spend a year and you're halfway to paying off your high interest debt, and then you get into a severe car accident and you don't have any money saved up, any kind of cushion, well, what happens to your family? And that's where I'm coming from, because any one of us is kind of one accident away from financial ruin. So that's why it's important to save while you have the ability to save. And I'd rather see you side hustle to start paying down your debt faster, but making sure that savings, like you're hitting your savings goals at the same time. Okay. So Whimsimi says she's living in Namibia and she'll have a good amount of money. She'll get a good chunk of money for her travel when she gets back. So she's stuck between investing in further travel. So you should always be saving. Ideally, you should calculate how much you need to save for retirement for when you want to retire, and always at a minimum save that amount. And then whatever is left, you can kind of do other things with that. And so that's why Joseph and I don't worry that much about our other finances. Well, on top of the fact that we have very low interest debt, but we know that we are saving enough money that in theory, we could retire when Joseph is 40 and I am 43. If we wanted to move to a lower cost of living area, because we should have $1 million saved up, which should be enough to cover our living expenses in a lower cost of living area. So as long as we are still hitting that benchmark every single month, and our net worth is increasing every single month, I just have to keep looking back at Reeves. When he's quiet, you never know what he's doing. So we don't worry about that. And so that's what I would say. You want to put some of that money away. You want to have your emergency fund. Definitely have your emergency fund, because you never know what could happen. But I would definitely invest. Definitely invest. I am looking at you. I see you. Okay? But okay, guys, I am going to run. I'm about to go bake some bread. I think I need to do a video on this. My favorite crusty bread in 5 minutes a day recipe. You can look up the book though. It's Artisan Bread in 5 minutes a day. And it's really good. We're having tomato leek soup and crusty bread, and then also an arugula salad with candied pecans. I made the candied pecans yesterday. So heading off to dinner. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I want to do more lives because I like being able to actually talk to you guys instead of just making a video and then waiting for your comments to come in. And I love your comments, by the way, even if we can't always respond to them because there are a lot now. Just know that we appreciate every single one of you, and we love making videos for you guys. And so I'll see you guys next time. Actually, I think we have a video coming out in another hour. So be sure to check that out. It's the other half of the how to invest video. But all right, bye guys. Have a nice night.